Welcome back, guys. Okay, so right then. Hey, that's my pen. Okay, this is FACEIT TV, and we were trying to get this day of Na'Vi happening for you guys, but of course, DDoS has struck, and this has caused many issues for us to actually get the matches played, as you would imagine. So the day of Na'Vi doesn't quite take place without a Na'Vi. So we are going to be doing ourselves some Razer Comms AMA. Did this previously with a few people, and I think we did the first one. So all you have to do is go download the Razer Comms, and then join the FACEIT channel, and then ask some questions. Is that right, James?
Absolutely, it is. So what do we do in the meantime, Dan?
Well, I hear you like to swim, James.
Well, see, we like to, in these situations, we like to come in dry, have nothing prepared, go improv.
I was everywhere.
Swimming
doesn't look professional. I'm not professional.
So yes, I like to swim, but I never do because I'm really lazy in the gym. I go to the gym and just I sit in the steam room. Excuse me.
Steam room's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, but not so much when you're supposed to be doing actual exercise.
Hey, what about wait?
I'm really bad at exercising these days.
So, didn't Razer have something they wanted to do?
Yeah,
so
but we can't. This is an anticlimax, then.
We can't do it now.
No.
I just want it to be over. Apparently, Razer are going to troll me or something, and I want to be over with because I can't live like this. I can't live with this constant anticipation that I'm going to get trolled, but never knowing what it is, or what's going to happen, and when it's going to happen.
You don't know when.
I can't deal with this.
You don't know how. It's just how it has to be done.
I don't like it.
I shouldn't have told you.
You shouldn't. You actually shouldn't have told me
because it ruins a surprise.
That would ruin this. Yeah,
and now you've ruined it for the viewers as well.
Yeah, they already knew.
But it's my fault. The snowballs avalanched all of it. But hey, you still don't know what it is or when it will come. We could have done it now had we had some matches to come.
Yeah, that was what you basically told me. You said when we have some FACEIT matches.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have told you.
You shouldn't have told me anything.
I don't know why. I just couldn't. I couldn't wait.
You can contain
I was excited. I couldn't wait. I had to tell you. I had to be like, oh, I'm going to tell you today.
Because like he's like, oh, it's got off the phone with Razer. and you were just so excited. You're giggly.
It was It's. I like the idea they came up with.
I don't.
It's good.
Anyway, so you're a swimmer, James. How did you get into swimming?
Got into a pool and swam.
That's great.
What about you?
I'm terrible at swimming.
But you're a gym freak.
Yeah, but I'm terrible at swimming. I don't see how these are related.
They're not. I was moving on to the gym as opposed to the pool, Dan.
I want to stay in the territory of swimming.
Can you even swim?
I can swim, but just very poorly. And the best way to describe it is just very inefficient. I get tired very quickly, which makes no sense because you should be able to swim for ages.
You like a doggy paddle or something?
No. My technique's decent, but for some reason it's too strenuous.
They do adult swimming lessons in the pool where I swim, and there was a guy who was learning. He was learning, but then he was like practicing on his own as well in his own time, and he was swimming but without bending his arms. Like he was just doing like he was just like
slapping, just
like oars, Dan, like oars. It was quite a sight. Made a big splash as well.
And he was serious. He wasn't.
Yeah, no, he was completely serious.
That's quite funny. We saw a homeless person last night. He was singing through a cone. I'd never seen that before.
You will see that a lot in London.
I'd never seen that before.
I've seen at least 5 people singing through a cone. You say singing, but they're making noise.
They're making noise.
I don't know how much.
It's marvelous.
I don't know how far you could call it.
It's just to me, it's just really hilarious. To you, you already knew what's happening before seeing the dude, but I just heard this noise, like someone going doo 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 doo. So it's some like weird noise. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I turn around. This is a guy with a traffic cone on the floor, and that was quite. I didn't expect that. I was not expecting that. It's the first time I saw that. So
we had Korean food for lunch today, but we don't know how to pronounce anything in Korean because it's not like Japanese.
No.
Like Korean beer is pronounced height.
Yeah, it's not.
Where if it was Japanese, you'd expect it to be like hite.
Yeah, it's like kind of like very syllabic. I don't know. You can kind of make a guess with the syllables, I guess. But whatever.
With Japan.
Yeah, whatever.
With Japan speak.
Indeed. But also, if you watch those anime, like I have done in the past.
I don't.
You seem like an anime person to me. You went to Japan. I don't know because you're into the fighting game culture, and you went to Japan a bunch. I would have assumed that at some point in your life you would have watched and appreciated and enjoyed perhaps some anime, but apparently not. I was wrong.
No, only like the classics like Akira. that's it. That's as far as it goes. So,
Okay. Alright.
not really. I'm not an anime kind of guy.
But everything, like all the voice acting, maybe because you can't understand what the words, that they are actually saying. I can't even speak. You can't understand the words they're actually saying, but they sound like badasses. Like when the Japanese guys are doing the voiceovers for like anime, they just sound like so cool. Do you not find that?
Well, I haven't really watched any, so.
Well, you watched Akira. It was not in Japanese with subtitles in English.
No, I watched it in because it was on channel.
Disgust me.
It was on Channel 4 a bunch of times, and they had it in English, and I was a kid when I watched it.
God damn.
I have the books. The books are cool.
Alright.
But I think that's one of the rare occurrences where I actually prefer the film to the book.
Alright. So what else do you do to keep yourself healthy and in shape other than swimming? How many times do you swim a week? James, I'm interviewing you. So this is like building into the AMA thing here.
I think we're going too far with the swimming.
Why? It's not really. I'm not.
I barely ever swim because I'm always.
Well,
casting.
there you go. There's the answer.
I'm always casting, and then when I mean to go and swim, I just go and sit in the steam room instead. I just fail.
You just go. So you just go to the steam room. You intend to go in and exercise, but like that steam room.
Yeah, I think we should have a notification on the stream to tell people to go to Razorcoms. I think that might help.
Pretty good. Because they're probably here otherwise. Just like joining the stream, like, what are these guys doing with their lives? So if you have just joined the stream, Na'Vi were getting a DDoS attack, and this persisted, and we can't play their games.
This is persisting.
It is persisting, and there are many Na'Vi games today. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Na'Vi games, one of which was a best of 3, the other was best of 1.
We got through 12 rounds, Dan.
They were good 12 rounds. I enjoyed those a lot, actually.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. I guess my standout player for GG World Play's got to be Spaz. So props to Spaz for playing so well for his team, having huge game impact. And Na'Vi were looking really good as well. I actually really liked how they were playing Cash. They had a lot of aggressive stuff they're mixing in. They actually changed their setups quite a lot and had a lot of pressure on A in some rounds. They had like really strong like mid and kind of B presence in some other rounds. And they played with like the timings and how they rotated the players based on what was happening. It was really good. I actually think, because it's like kind of easy to forget sometimes, or at least for me, it's kind of easy to forget how good Na'Vi actually are. Because they got top 4 at the last major, okay, losing to LDLC, now Envious. And then just a month prior to that, they got second at ESWC. No, 4th at ESWC, and before that last SLTV, they got second at LAN. So they're a pretty good team.
They don't seem happy though. I don't think they're winning as often as they would like to.
Yeah.
As a Na'Vi fan, I don't feel like they are either.
But I do think I'm actually quite excited to see them playing, and so today was a huge bummer for me. We'll get.
I don't think we've ever had a day where one DDoS has wiped out an entire evening.
One DDoS to rule them all.
Yeah, it's like the final DDoS.
This is the final DDoS. Ooh,
apparently Na'Vi have made an appearance. Well, I don't know how many questions we've got right now. Maybe some questions could be asked. Who knows?
Waiting for the voice of God. God is being very well.
I'm not referring to him as God.
You know?
I'm his God, Dan.
You're his God.
Basically, so that's the way around it is.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe we'll.
So let me ask you a question, Dan.
Okay. Oh God.
What do you use? What do you use in your hair?
I wake up like this.
You just roll out of bed, put some clothes on, leave the house.
Exactly. Well, I have a shower first.
If you didn't touch your hair, though.
What are you trying to get at, James?
If you didn't touch your hair, Dan.
I didn't do anything. And let it grow? You mean like let it grow for like 6 months?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
It'd be humongous, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of Dan recently. And when he was a young innocent gamer, when he was like maximum nerd, holy boy! I mean, seriously, he had an AF. I don't even know if you could call it an AF.
But the weird thing is that like my hair's like not curly; it's just like super wavy. But it just like entangles and becomes this huge mess.
Behemoth.
Yeah, I guess that's a word.
It is a word, yes.
Congratulations, that is a word.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I think we have a question.
Let's go.
Producer Reese, please.
What is your favourite part of CSGO casting, and do you like casting other games?
Okay, I guess you're cueing me there with that.
I think I am.
Okay, so favorite part of casting CS:GO. I think CS:GO is just a really exciting game. I mean, there's two aspects for me. Actually, this is the reason why doing play and also color is enjoyable, because both aspects of the game, like the super fast paced like action or crazy stuff that can happen, because with CS:GO you can really see the skill, and I think this is it's harder to see the skill with non-FPS games, like with MOBA games and RTS games. It's harder to see the skill. It's not as clear as a guy with with a crosshair like snapping onto a guy's head, and it's very intuitive, like having a 1 versus 3. Like that's like really clear. Okay, this was hard, and it looks like amazing, and it's just so like that the excitement and the kind of high octane parts of CS:GO to me are like really exciting to bear witness to and cast. But also I just really enjoy just everything that goes behind being like a professional player, as well as creating a professional team that competes in this arena, essentially, where you have these maps and you have all the game dynamics, and they factor all this in, and you have different players, different teams, different skill sets. You have to find approaches to different problems. So decision-making stuff, like strategical stuff, like metagame stuff, all that stuff is fascinating to me, because I just love it. I just love it. And as far as do I like casting other games, obviously for those who know some of my backgrounds, I came from Quake primarily, and that's where I kind of started casting. So I would say Quake, because Quake is for the same reasons, just a different flavor, essentially, of FPS, and more one-on-one than the team games. I don't really like to cast team games as much, but 1v1 is where it's at for me in Quake. But yeah, that's my answer. I just basically just said everything, just like in loads of words. But you go.
I basically said everything in loads of words.
Yeah, I just said.
What does that even mean?
Because it's a favorite part of CS:GO casting, and I just basically just said everything about CS:GO. That's basically what I mean with that. So I just kind of.
All right, I'll take that. Okay, so what is my favorite part of CS:GO casting? Well, for me, I just love the game. I've been around the game for about 12 years, and I love it. The game is like a religion to me. So that's my answer. I just absolutely love the game. I've got like 3,000 hours playing the game, and that's just this one. I used to play 1.6 before they recorded hours in CS:GO, so I've got like 3 hours in 1.6 on my Steam profile. But obviously, I've played more than 3 hours. Do I like casting other games? Not really, to be honest with you. I like streaming, because the thing is, I don't just cast. I broadcast, like. I produce fighting games, and I enjoy doing that. I enjoy seeing when I do an event, like I was in Madrid a few weeks ago doing a Street Fighter event, and they flew in players from Japan, from South Korea, other places. So when I get to sit there first person and watch all these great players and see how the crowd reacts to it, people who don't get to see these guys every day, or never see them, in fact, and they're in their own town, they go crazy. And it's great to be part of the atmosphere and to contribute to it with the way I set up the shots, and there's a tense moment, and you go to the players' faces, all that kind of stuff. So I like producing that kind of stuff, but in terms of casting, no, I don't like casting other games.
I think there's like one other thing I could add to my point, actually, is that for me, a lot of it is actually about relating to my past experiences as like being a very top level player. Because I see like a lot of the struggles and like a lot of the stuff that I see like top players go through, different moments or whatever it is, or trying to solve different issues or problems or all that kind of stuff. I can relate to that quite well, because I was in that position a lot of it, because I was doing this stuff for so many years myself in a different game, but FPS and same sort of stuff really. Anyway, are you happy with your answer?
That's my final answer.
Okay, let's
Chris
go.
Tarrant.
Let's press on. Press on.
Why did you become game commentators?
Because I failed at everything else in life, Jays. And I'm English, I'm a native speaker, I can use my voice, I can say words. That's probably a terrible answer. You go, I'll come back to this.
Okay, why did I become a game commentator? It's part of what I do. It's not actually the main thing I do at FACEIT. I do a lot of other stuff in the background, like managing the league with my colleagues and other things. So it's part of my job. But why did I wanted to be I thought I had something to contribute, essentially, Which is why I approached Khan in the first place and said, hey, I want to do some Counter-Strike commentary if you're ever doing any streams coming up. And he said, hey, talk to these guys at FACEIT. Basically, it's because, again, it just comes back to my love for Counter-Strike. I thought I had something to contribute to the game, so it's as simple as that for me, really.
So I guess the serious answer for me is that I never actually intended to get into it, and I never intended to ever work in esports either. Because originally, because I'd been around in esports, or well, before it was ever even really known as esports, and was just more commonly referred to as competitive gaming.
I prefer that.
Earlier on, in from 2000, I would just witness so much corrupt behavior, like people scamming, like event scamming teams, or like people trying to scam others, or just horrible behavior, like poorly run events, just people not treating players well, or it's just loads of horrible, unreasonable stuff, like sponsors coming in, taking stuff away, kind of evil organizations, like people trying to make a quick buck. I saw all the worst bits, basically, kind of up until the point of essentially with the streaming revolution, where it kind of started to change, and then back in 2008 with the recession, we saw how terrible the infrastructure was for esports was, because okay, we have 10 on server actually. I'll just wrap up this question really fast, but essentially it looked like esports was a terrible place to get involved with professionally, but I changed my mind after I started producing content, because I wanted to give back. Because I used to do a lot of analysis, and being a good player before, I just wanted to give back to the community, because I wasn't playing super hardcore anymore. But it's like, hey, I want to try to give some value to the community and do something that I think I can kind of uniquely do in the Quake scene. And I did that, and then I just fell into it. I just FACEIT just called me up one day and said, hey, we're hosting some weekly Quake tournaments. We think that you could do a good job. So do you want to come in and try casting? So I went from doing YouTube analysis videos in Quake to doing that. They liked me, to offer me a job, and I was just kind of in a period of not knowing what I was going to do in my life at that point, whether I go back to education and continue with law, or just get a job somewhere else. And then I was like, well, screw it, let's try this esports thing out. I haven't looked back since. It's been 3 years, I guess, almost. No, 2.5 years, 3 years, something like that. So that's how I got into casting.
So we are, in fact, guys, gonna go live with Na'Vi versus Envy.